The breeze startled me. I was standing on the porch barefoot, sipping my coffee. The coastal morning light had only just slipped through the clouds when sudden gust swept by like an insistent hand, tugging at the hem of my sundress, high enough to reveal what I wasn't wearing beneath. That was the exact moment Aaron walked up the steps. My son, my daughter's husband. We both froze. My heart stuttered. His eyes didn't blink. He saw everything and said nothing, but his silence rang louder than words. It wasn't embarrassment on his face, not shock, something else entirely. Older, heavier, darker. In that one suspended second, I couldn't tell if it was betrayal or the beginning of something far more dangerous. I didn't know yet. Before I continue, I want to thank every one of you who subscribed to this channel. And to those watching without subscribing, thank you for being here. Your support, your likes, your comments keeps this channel. Stay with me till the end of this story and share your thoughts. Now, back to that moment on the porch. My name is Elise. I'm 60. I live alone in a small pale house just outside Savannah. The walls are quiet now, lined with photographs of a life already lived. I was married once for 34 years. He left 2 years ago for someone younger, a fitness instructor with a flawless smile and hollow eyes. I didn't cry when he walked out. I'd shed enough tears while he was still under my roof. Aaron is 35. He's been married to my daughter Marissa for almost 10 years. They met in college. She used to tell me he was the first man who truly understood her. But lately, he's been trying not to see her at all. Their spark has burned down to embers. She once confessed he seemed far away, distracted. And now here he was standing on my porch after witnessing far too much and still not turning away. "Morning, Elise," he said, trying for steady but failing as his voice cracked. That crack settled between us like something neither of us wanted to name. "You're early," I said, though I had no idea why he'd even come. He gave a small smile. Not polite, hesitant, curious, like he'd stumbled onto a page he wasn't supposed to read. "Thought I'd stop by. Marissa said you needed someone to check the gutters." A lie. I'd said nothing about gutters and Marissa hadn't said he'd be coming. I should have sent him away. I should have stepped inside and closed the door. But instead, I stepped aside. "Come in," I said. He walked past me close enough that I his. He didn't look back, but his silence lingered behind him. That night, I stared into the mirror, not to judge wrinkles or Talia, but to ask myself one frightening question. What did he see? And why did I want him to see it? I wish I could tell you that moment ended there, swept away like dust on the porch. But Aaron returned. The next afternoon, his truck rolled into my driveway. I hadn't called him. Marissa hadn't said a word, but he came anyway. Casual and calm, faded jeans, a soft gray shirt stretching across his shoulders, wearing his confidence like it was stitched into the fabric. This time, I was ready. A proper dress, a slip, shoes, nothing floating, nothing risking a repeat of the breeze. I greeted him politely, avoiding his eyes because I already knew what those eyes had held. Still worried about the gutters, I asked lightly. He laughed under his neck. "Actually figured I'd check your kitchen sink." Marissa said the faucet was dripping. Another lie. My faucet worked perfectly, but I opened the door again. I let him in again, and this time he stayed. He pulled out a chair at the kitchen table. While I fussed with things that didn't need fixing, I could his gaze. Not hungry, but seeking something. Something low, quiet, unresolved. "You doing all right?" he asked after a long silence. The question heavier than it should have. "I'm fine," I said softly. "Why?" He traced the rim of his mug. "You seem quieter than usual." I sat down across from him, folding my hands. "That's because I am quieter these days." He nodded slowly, understanding more than I'd said. "I get that. Sometimes I walk around the house with Marissa and like a visitor, like we're playing out roles we forgot how to be." I leaned in, a mistake even as I did it. "Marriage isn't always a home," I said. "Sometimes it's a long hallway with too many locked doors." That line, that was where it truly began. We talked for nearly 2 hours, not about faucets or gutters, about regret, loneliness, the slow fading of who we once were. He admitted he noticed that Marissa sometimes treated him like background noise. I confessed something I'd never dared say aloud. I don't miss my husband. I miss who I used to be when someone loved me. Silence followed, charged silence. Then his hand brushed mine as he reached for the sugar. We froze, barely touching. I should have pulled away, but I didn't. When my husband left, he took nothing except the of being seen. He'd stopped touching me long before he packed a single bag. No arguments, no flames, just quiet. The slow erosion of being wanted. So yes, I was open, vulnerable, and Aaron saw that. He kept coming back, not for repairs, but because here he's something missing from his own home. That evening, as he stood at the door, he hesitated. "I tell you things I don't even tell Marissa," he murmured. "Is that wrong?" I met his eyes, steady, unsure. "Maybe, but honest. That's why I keep coming back," he whispered. He left before I could answer. I stayed in the doorway long after he drove off, knowing the next time I wouldn't ask why. The third time was different. No excuses, no repairs. It was a Saturday. Marissa had taken the kids to her parents'. Aaron was supposed to be golfing. Instead, his truck appeared in my driveway like he already knew his decision. He didn't knock. He just stood there, eyes clear. No confusion this time. I opened the door, stepped aside. He walked in like the house remembered him. We didn't speak at first. He sat on the couch, looking around like the room had become a place to a refuge. No wind, no lifted dress, just the weight of everything unspoken. He watched the sunlight stretch across the carpet. The quiet didn't ask for words. It demanded choice. Finally, he turned toward me. "I think about you," he said softly. "More than I should." My hands trembled as I sat beside him. "Do you think about Marissa when you're here?" His jaw tightened. "I try to." That answer hurt more than a simple no. We sat shoulder to shoulder, barely touching, something humming between us like a low current. I closed my eyes, not to escape, but to everything. My thoughts, the dangerous rhythm of my own heart. Then came the moment I'll always remember. He reached out, hand hovering between us, waiting. I didn't take it. I didn't pull back. And somehow that was... Sometimes letting things be is what brings us the sweetest moments.